Hey guys, welcome back. We are here with game 2 of what's it? Okay. When will the day come that I don't mess up an intro?
This day.
Not this day. We're back with Cass's Shoe Shop versus Passive Aggressive Red Pandas, possibly multiple, possibly singular. But we are back with that game 2. I'm still Jirachi. I still have Menbong and Guy Fieri. So
What up?
yeah. Hi, guys. Game 1 did go to Cass's Shoe Shop, and the MVP poll did give Jimmy the MVP for first game, so congrats to him. I think well deserved.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate again, that game, it was so hard to pick an MVP.
Yeah.
And everybody on that team did things that were MVP worthy in that game. And I think what it came down to was Jimmy. He took the tank versus Aurelia matchup, and while he didn't necessarily stomp lane, because you don't stomp lane as Maokai into Aurelia, he did what he had to do. He farmed, he didn't feed, and he was a tank come team fights. And so he played the lane the way you got to play it. And props to him for being able to survive that lane, because that's not easy to do.
Agreed. It was a very, very hard one. I myself did vote for Clumsy Chocobo, but as I pointed out from the beginning, Jimmy did a lot of work.
Hold on a second.
We're all good. We're all good. Keep going.
We had a
Okay.
little bit of a stall right now. I guess DG Mad
Yeah.
Hatter has to set up a new headset, and so he's trying to take care of that. So it has delayed this a little bit. Shouldn't be any problems. The champs have been picked. The bans have been done. They're just waiting for DG Mad Hatter to get his setup going, so that then they can get into champs so I can get going.
Yeah. I'm just trying to I'm making sure like all the sound settings are fine.
Holy hell!
Jesus, okay.
Can you switch overlay?
Sprays ice.
You should probably switch overlay for a minute.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
We'll
Yeah,
be here. We'll be here, but the screen's gonna be on something different for a moment.
Actually, I will use.
Or are they going?
Are they going?
No.
I will use this time to
Okay.
actually change the overlay in prep for the next game.
Yeah, so you don't have, who was it last night? What was it, who was playing it themselves last night?
I don't remember. Was it last
What was,
night?
yeah, it was, Eric, what was the team you were playing last night?
Oh, Team Foreskin.
I was
Yeah,
on Team Foreskin.
Team Foreskin versus Team Foreskin.
Oh, did it say that for a hot minute? Oh yeah, I see what you're doing now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got a little bit of a stall. I want to hear some of the chat's thoughts on that first game. What were some of the things that stood out in you guys' mind? Maybe some of your LCS big plays. We got a chat. We got something from Murphy Rod. Pause before the game even starts. Yep, such is life in the PMA LCS. Pauses for days.
I would say
the missed Warwick ults.
The missed Wargolds. Those were fun.
I liked the Anivia wall. That was super cheese. But the TP play from Jimmy in the beginning, around level 4 in the mid lane. Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Okay.
I'm typing something in chat right now.
Yeah.
I don't know who just said screw you, Eric, but thank you.
Oh
Thank
my-
you. I'll take it.
Oh,
Who's
jeez.
Remsu?
I don't know.
Obviously, you know me. You know my name. You know my name.
And here is my weakness, filling time. I mean, we could fill time by watching the fucking, like, duck song.
I'm gonna reply to what you replied here. I understand what you're saying, but like I'm gonna use me as an example. So take me as a top laner. I'm gonna be the first pick. like on the list, right? Like I'm the top one. I never want to first pick a top laner unless it's Galio. Pretty much. And if let's say like on our team, what's something we would first pick? We might first pick, I don't know, Braum or something, right? Which I can pick because I have that champion. I have every champion, so we pick the Braum. But then, like, what's to say that my support has the champions I'd want to play? What's to say that my support has, say, I would go for a Jarvan that game or a Jace that game? He might not have that, which means that I am not able to pick the champion that I want to pick potentially.
So I think the headset problem's about to get fixed. I just got word from our referees.
Cool.
Yeah. So, the wild neighborhood friendly neighborhood bellowing buffalo / bellowing bison has
Get out!
I was listening to the cast from last night, and I heard you call him Buffalo, and I googled so hard.
But he has reminded me that we should talk about subscribing and donating. We are affiliated with Twitch, so you can subscribe to us now. So, and also, if you have Amazon Prime, you get one free $5 subscription per month. So if you have Prime, you haven't used that, feel free to shoot it at us, and that all goes to a prize pool. You can also donate to this. I believe the links are in our channel info. So yeah, go to that. And also, more matchups we have coming up this week. We only have one more scheduled right now, but it is going to be Team Solo Feed versus 7 Shades of Greg in 2 days on Tuesday at 12:30 a.m. EST, technically Wednesday morning, whatever. We're gonna call it Tuesday. I'm sorry.
I do believe there's a match tomorrow night. I don't know if the time's confirmed. It was scheduled really recently. It's looking like Team Foreskin and 9-inch Torpedoes
Yeah.
are supposed to play tomorrow night.
Okay.
I don't know a time off the top of my head. I was told about 8 Eastern.
Yeah, I thought it was 7 o'clock Central. Yeah.
So there's a potential that's happening. The time's not 100% confirmed, but I know like there's a chance I'm subbing for Team Foreskin again. So he told me to keep 8 o'clock open. So.
Yep.
So yeah.
I just want to take this moment. We're talking about filling time. I know that there are rules and that there are standards that we've set, but this is ultimately a league for fun, for brothers to enjoy playing League. And I get that we should enforce some of these rules, but I want to make sure that the people who are enforcing them are doing it nicely, doing it calmly, and doing it in the manner that they would want it to be enforced to them if they were the ones having the issue. That's all I'm going to say about the matter.
I want to say that I think everybody should rage because this is League.
I offered no opinion.
This is League of Legends, and that it is a toxic environment, a toxic game. And what better way for...
You're not listening to Man Bun. His name is Man Bun, for crying out loud. Would you trust a man with that name?
I mean,
if there was someone named Man Bun, you definitely shouldn't listen to them. When I hear about the rules, no, but and what better way for brothers to connect with each other than fight and be manly, like they did in the Roman age.
What I will,
right?
Okay.
On the slightly more serious note, I will combine the two and just say that this league has.
You want people to fight the way they'd want to be fighted? That's combining the two.
Sure, let's do that. But in all seriousness, like this league, I think is awesome. It has brought together. I mean, the community existed before, I'm assuming, but I didn't get into it until I saw that like PMA LCS was a thing, and I've met way too many people. Then like all my league friends are like exclusively from PMA. So it's a great community. This is for fun, and we meet people, and the people are awesome. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, I was obviously trolling Nationals.
Sure,
if you're watching this stream right now,
Sure.
you know. Buy me off all the way. Let's all sing. Get our red books
Yo,
and
dude,
go
I'm
to
a
page.
T1. I'm a T1. I got my red
Okay, you're a
literally,
tenor. I'm a
literally
baritone.
right behind me.
I'm a T2.
Okay.
Yo,
If
we need a
we have
bass.
a bass two in chat,
right now.
please no. Ooh.
Oh god. Okay.
We got
Well,
bass,
it looks
baby.
we are about
gonna go
to
with
get
A
going.
mute
They
Frank.
are.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh man. That's.
We got Chap so hyped for freaking singing, and now we have to go.
Let me just actually turn on sound for the client because that's nice. Oh. Alright. So, wait. Did they do? Did they?
So we do.
They did the wrong lobby mode. It's not tournament draft. There's not 5 bands.
I'm gonna give them a heads up if they want to
Yeah.
restart it.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Do that. We should restart it.
Hang on. If they don't care about not having a pause, then that's on them.
Hesitation is
I mean, I would care about not having a pause.
It's up. I'm leaving it to. Okay, they're just gonna back out. So
Okay.
we're gonna back in a moment.
Yep. We.
Dra- We just need to get out of the lobby.
Yeah, we're gonna have to restart a new lobby.
Yeah. So I'll hop it over to the waiting screen like real quick, but yeah.
Okay,
Well,
time for singing, everybody.
oh
No.
god. Well, we will be right back as soon as we get back into the lobby. Don't go anywhere, please.
I was gonna say, Rich, go ahead and put on some music.
And we're back. Hello.
Hello!
Is this tournament draft? Okay, this is tournament draft.
Howdy.
We have 5 bans. Thank God. So, now, after an ungodly amount of delay that
Hesitation
wasn't
is
even in
bad.
game, we are in the champ select. Finally, the Cho'Gath and the Aatrox bans coming from CSS. Pretty obvious target bans. The Tristana ban, though, coming this time from PARP, taking away that champion from Family Man.
Yeah, I think, as we'll see in the pick and ban phase right here, PARP is really focusing the 2 threats that they thought were problems for them in the last draft, while Boot, I believe, has stuck with the exact same 3 bans as they had on red side.
Right, and I understand the Tristana and Ivy ban take out what beats you, but like you leave up so much for DG Mad Hatter at that point because he's got so many other picks and frigates that, in my opinion, are better than his Anivia. Like, I don't think his Anivia is even his top champ. I think he's even better on other champions past that. And I don't necessarily disagree with taking away the Tristana though, because I think the Tristana is an incredibly safe pick for him, and that was something we talked about in the team fights in that last game, where he had the freedom to jump around and dodge what he had to dodge in the team fight instead of being something immobile that didn't have the safety. And I'm gonna shut up because I think we just had a Leona top locked in.
Here's
Okay.
the Balakastran special. Oh man, here we go.
Just to talk about that for a little while, because he's going into the Maokai of Jimmy again. The one thing about that makes it potentially tough on Balakastran is his main way of getting in for a trade with his Zenith Blade can be denied if Jimmy plays it well enough by using his Arcane. It's not Arcane Smash anymore. It's Bramble Smash.
Yeah.
It's Bramble Smash.
Oh,
He
it's
uses
Bramble Smash. Right, that's
Where if he Bramble Smashes as he sees the animation for Zenith Blade going in, Leona's not getting up on you, and there's no trade to be had. Which, judging from how Jimmy played his Maokai last game, he was fine with that. He doesn't really want to trade too much. He just wants to get his farm and get to team fights. We do see some different picks, a lot of different picks coming out for PARP.
We
The
see-
Nocturne for Irurion for A. It's
Family
a
Man.
good pick for him. It's a good assassin, and especially when you've got a Jinx on the back line, something immobile with very little way to peel yourself off, to peel a Nocturne off of himself. It could be a good pick to see that. I'm not sure which was picked first, if the Jinx was picked into the Nocturne, if the Nocturne was picked into the Jinx. But I think that interaction is going to be good for PARP to have later on in this game. They have a way to get onto Jinx that's really tough to stop. And you see the Malzahar and the entire lineup's changed because you got a Varus Alistair bot lane from the Boo Bite bot lane.
So the Jinx was taken after the Nocturne and the Champ Select. My only thing is that I think the reason that you take that, obviously, comfort pick for Family Man. I didn't like the Draven ban from the side of PARP just because I felt like with the Malzahar, with the Nocturne, even the Alistar Leona, you have a lot of to deal with the Draven who's going to be wanting to frontline a whole lot more than a Jinx will, and doesn't have necessarily the range that the Jinx will later in the game. But if the Nocturne's going in, and if it's just him, he's either going to get blown up, or you're going to have to really, really rely on this Malzahar to do damage to the front line of Cass's Shoe Shop.
Yeah, I think you've got a comp that's a little bit trickier to pull off on the side of PARP. The Leona is what throws it off. I mean, if the Leona can snowball, I imagine he's probably going for like a Triforce and a tank. That's what I would do if I were playing Leona top, but I also wouldn't play Leona top just because that's not me. I'm not trying to hate on the pick, that's just
Step
it's
one of
not
playing
something
Leona
I would
top.
allow.
Don't play Leona top.
Right. But it's very actually, I think, dependent on winning that top lane. Kind of like with the early pick, any Triforce top lane is dependent on winning lane. Because if you don't win lane, you have a really slow Triforce, which means you hit your mid game power spike way too slow. And then by the time you hit your mid game power spike, they're already stronger than you. So it's gonna be tricky for sure. it's going to come down to a lot of what we talked about in the last game. Honestly, it's can Clumsy Chocobo get some early aggression off? He has a champ that's a little harder to get that off with Sejuani as opposed to Warwick. Not that Sejuani can't gank early, but Sejuani's doesn't stay as healthy on her clear, especially the first clear. And I mean, it's just not as good of a duelist. And you're going up against a Nocturne, a champion who I don't think the health is quite there. Not the same as the Warwick as far as the healthy clear, but he definitely has more dueling potential early than the Sejuani will. And if you're looking at a 2v2 top lane between a Maokai Sejuani and a Leona Nocturne, I give that to the Leona Nocturne because you got about the same amount of CC from both sides, but you got way more damage on the side of PARP in that engage. So I think it's going to come down to, again, jungle pressure early. Who can snowball the early, it's harder. And if Elliot can get into his top and mid lane early enough to get Violet Sensu Cat and Black Shred running to be able to get some lead bot lane from a nice 5-man bot or 4-man bot, then I think you're going to see PARP potentially snowball this game out. But Cass's Shoe Shop, I think, has a comp that is fine sitting back a little bit and scaling up. They have Jinx Ahri, scales pretty well. Maokai Sejuani scales pretty well. And Morgana gives some safety to the carries. So I mean, it's a fairly solid 5v5 team comp that Cass's Shoe Shop was drafted. I'd say an even better 5v5 team comp than the last game they picked, but they had a pretty good 5v5 team comp, so we'll see.
Yeah, so yeah, there we go. As we're winding down this champ select, I want to get your guys' predictions. Who will win this? CSS did take the first game, but PARP, I mean, they have a Leona top, you never know.
Yep.
Yeah, so Eric, who do you think's going to
What?
win this?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's hard because I literally just told you I think what I think the win conditions are for both teams, and it's all dependent on who can win the early game. And I think if nothing happens in the early game, I think that means Cass's Shoe Shop wins the early game. So it's very dependent on Elliot to make stuff happen in the lanes on his Nocturne pick, I think. I'm trying to stall because I don't know. Just so you know.
Okay, so
I'm
Eric
gonna
doesn't
give it,
know.
No, I got an answer. I'm gonna give Cass's Shoe Shop. I think their comp's easier to pull off. I think Cass's Shoe Shop is playing a very similar style of comp to what they just played. They should play it well. I think this comp's even a little less dependent on getting that early snowball going. So you don't have a champion who needs to get rolling in the Anivia, and you don't have a Warwick who's very early game minded. You have a Sejuani who, if she gets ahead in the early game, cool. But if not, as long as she stays even, you've got a Sejuani come late game. Like, I think that's going to be the difference maker for me.
All right, Sean.
Go. After hearing all this stuff, you still have the double TP coming out from Team PARP, even if it is a Leona top lane. Malzahar and Nocturne can make some roams and do actually what Cass's Shoe Shop did last game. They need to make the early skirmishes. They're the better pick comp of the two teams. But if we see this get past 25 minutes again, Jinx is going to do just Jinx things, just like Tristana did Tristana things last game. So,
And a pause.
Yep.
Hello,
Okay,
Mal.
you know, we had the pause requested. So, I'm actually gonna take. I have to take Cass's Shoe Shop. Jimmy just did so much work last game. I think the Jinx definitely scales better the later this game goes.
And we're on
and
pause immediately.
If you can get Morg roaming with some Moby Boots to try to make some picks mid lane with the Ahri and Chocobo, I think that's where you see them doing it.
Family man just flashing his mastery and dancing in Fountain.
I mean, isn't that all you do? I would do the same.
I mean, I flash my mastery and dance in the lane and die, so there's a difference.
But that's because you're bad.
Yeah, I'm aware. Fully aware. Also, don't
Go ahead.
use Star Guardian Jinx.
What about
Wait,
you,
why?
Rich? Who do you have?
What skin do I have?
No, who are you
No,
taking?
don't win
in
the
this matchup?
game.
Oh,
There is more to life than Jinx skins.
Are you
No, there-
hashtag
no, there
Leona
is
win or
not.
hashtag actual team comp?
long story short, Cass's Shoe Shop.
Yeah.
My eyes are very much on Balakisha in this game. If he could get ahead and get rolling, I mean,
If they
it's
aren't, it's a Leona top. Like, if your eyes aren't on him, like, what are you doing?
I think the base damage is so good that with a little bit of lead, a little bit of snowball, like, and there's always a thing. The thing with cheese sticks is the ability for them to be underestimated. I know I've played against a Leona top before, and I got stomped because I was like, "What is that damage?" So if Jimmy underestimates him a little bit, it could start to tilt in the way of Cast a Shoe Shot. So I think that's something to look out for this game.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening, especially when Jimmy was put into a losing matchup last time and went 0-0-17, got MVP last
True.
game, and then now he's going into a Leona matchup, which is I'm not sure if it's a losing matchup. I just don't think that it is.
Do any of us know Leona top matchups? Like,
I mean,
besides Caleb. I mean, does Caleb even know
Panda,
matchups?
Panda might. Panda's a Leona main.
Yeah,
So-
but does he play Leona top?
Probably could if he tried. I'm gonna be straight up with you on that. Interesting trades in the mid lane to start. And actually, we're gonna see Irion. They called out that Clumsy Chocobo started on his blue buff. A good ping from Black Strand to notice that Jimmy was linked to lane, and so we're gonna see Irion potentially get in and get a red buff, but he's actually gonna be spotted out and have to flash over the wall.
Yeah.
Not the biggest thing to lose early, but now you don't have that for a potential level 3 gank. And actually, it looks like Clumsy Chocobo is gonna be trying to get the red buff of his own and kind of punish the counter jungle that didn't even happen. This could be a huge turning point for Clumsy Chocobo to just kind of dodge through the early game and make the Nocturne not able to gank early, which I think Clumsy Chocobo's fine with. It's going to be close though, because Irion's coming in on his red buff, and the Smite's going to take it away from Clumsy Chocobo, and he's going to presumably just Q over this wall. He's not even going to Q, he's just going to walk out.
Easy red buff steal.
Just get him with a pair of sunglasses and Thug Life, and there you go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right.
Oh god, was this cast? But the casts always devolved, like, always.
They don't devolve. I thought that was a good call. I hate you, Rich.
Oh, I mean, if you don't call that devolving, they're gonna devolve. It's gonna devolve at some point, especially when the cast goes to 4 in the morning. Oh,
Well, that's known.
Blockadran on the losing end of trades actually is through the. Oh my god, what are Leona's ability names? Oh god, I need to look up these.
I know one of them, Zenith Blade. That's the
Zenith-
only one I need to know, because that's the skill shot.
Zenith Blade, Solar Flare. What's her W? Hold on, I'm gonna.
I don't know. Oh, we got a gank to the top side.
Oh, it's called
But if Jimmy
Eclipse,
plays
but
well, he can just get the first blood
Blockadran
on
is
him.
taking so much damage from Jimmy, but he's gonna barely stay alive. Arion comes in, gets the first blood. Well played by them. PARP getting the first blood this time around.
I forgot I'm not play-by-play, my bad. I was like calling up, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not my job right now.
It's okay, I got you. I took over that one.
Blackish Trench holding balls of steel, honestly, to even go in on that engage. Because that was hairy, and he managed to get the flash away from any potential damage that Jimmy could put back to be able to secure the first blood.
Yeah, Clumsy Choco might be looking to gank this top lane though. It's a Leona. She no longer has a flash. Jimmy does still have his. And she is TPing back to the lane now. If he can go
This
top,
is
he can do
dangerous.
something, but he is actually going mid. Violent Sociocat gets charmed up and getting CC'd for days. Flashes away,
He's
but
dead.
the Ignite is ticking. She is dead.
Why
That
flash?
hurt. I don't even know.
You're dead, why flash? Now they can gank again.
Finding landing on the Broom Arc Bolt. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna sit top lane for a bit. You've just watched the Leona farm under tower.
so
I'm not sure if Violet Sociocat didn't catch the Ignite was on, or like just had a little brain fart there. But that flash actually, you have the chance to hold that flash at that point. You know you're dead. Hold the flash, save yourself on the next gank, because DG Medheader and Kobe Chocobo, neither one of them had to use their flash to get that gank off. So that's a very easy repeat gank in 30 seconds to a minute to 3 minutes even.
But meanwhile, on the top lane, Blockstone is going in on the Zenith Blade, is taking plenty of damage from Jimmy.
I'm gonna say that Jimmy doesn't know that he can Q the Leona E. because it was not on cooldown and he didn't use it there to prevent that trade. Unless he's like, yo, just come at me, but I wouldn't.
So I want to talk about the item purchase real quick from Leona. It's most likely going toward the stage of the Trinity Force we were talking about earlier, as we have a gank bot lane.
Doesn't matter because Family Man is taking so much damage, flashes away. Space Aids is not gonna take him down. The Black Shield coming in just in time. He's so low, but he gets out. Unfortunately, top lane Solar Flare going down. Block Drain gets the solo kill on Jimmy, and Hoagie is stuck under his tower. Gets tagged by the piercing arrow, dodges the zap, and there we go. Just easy kill for that. Like a flash forward for Family Man. Family Man has no flash to heal, and double kill for Fast Bite.
Well, I think the heal was a little bit much. I think he had that kill without the heal, but a good 4-man bot. Like, this is some good, very proactive plays here from PARP.
It was a 3-man. Arian just showed up, but Deep Matter wants to defend this tower. He's dashing in on the Blue Markle. Blue Markle is down to basically no HP, but PARP being persistent on this tower. They will get it eventually. Yup, there we go. And the gold for first start even goes on to Daspite.
And already
able to catapult ahead in this matchup.
And already we're seeing so much more of an aggressive early game out of PARP. I'm not sure if it's the winning bot lane. They actually have priority in that bot lane. Maybe it's Malzahar pick giving kind of a very free level 6 roam. You go to level 6, you find an AD carry who's still level 4, and you kill him. Or if it's just maybe they're being just better coordinated this game. The dragon's going to reset, which could open the chance for a steal.
Arian does get or secure the dragon rather. DG Mad Hatter doesn't have a whole lot of mana and has no ult this time, so
barely.
But the Call to Void is going to end the Space Aids. DG Mad Hatter taking so much damage, does take down Marco and is gonna live. Arian forced the flash away. Glacial Fish did not catch him, so Brumarkle will go down, but the dragon also picked up the part.
So you have Blackish Drain actually rushing Tiamat, which I think is really, really smart because Leona lacks sufficient wave clear, which is really, really good. The only thing that I think that he should start focusing is that every time Jimmy comes in for a trade, that's when he needs to use the Q so that the minion aggro is on him, and then he's stunned for that stun duration to where the minions are working for him as opposed to just going in every chance he possibly can. But this is exactly what we were just talking about before as he goes in.
Every chance he can does go in, gets knocked back by the Bramble, not Arcane Smash go. Eclipse damage, just a little bit more on Jimmy, and they're both low health, maybe back off and heal, TP back to lane.
I really want somebody to tell Jimmy that he can Q the Leona E. I really want them to tell him that because that's going to make a huge difference in this lane. And I don't think he knows that. Like, and it's not something that necessarily you should know. Like, I mean, it makes sense if you think about it, like with Fresh Flay can cancel that. So it's the same idea. It's not like people like theory craft this matchup and say, oh well, this is. It's just, oh well, he has a knockback which can take away the Zenith Blade. Like that's just, I don't know. That would make a huge difference. That's all I'm saying.
This is what we were talking about earlier, though, is that the win conditions of PARP had to be the almost exact same win conditions that happened for Casta Shoe Shop last time. Get skirmishes, get fights, you have the better early game team catch comp.
Blackish sitting push Zenith's Blades down onto Jimmy and turns with the twist advance. Blackish is in the middle, bunch of minions, has the solar flow back up.
It's gonna be another kill.
On the force, the flashes into the turret, hits another soul kill. Does
he live?
On the middle lane,
yes, he does.
Gets the submission down, and here comes the Nocturnal. DG Mad Hatter gets a solo kill in the mid lane, but now we've got a jungler fight actually down the top lane. Purple Cross onto Arian.
He's got no mana.
So close. Oh, Clumsy Chocobo gets it.
You have
well
no
played.
mana.
He had no mana and no red buff, I think.
No, he had red buff. He had no mana. I think he used his spell shield earlier in that trade. I would have saved it for
the stun.
For the stun, and then we had some fighting going on mid lane where DJ Mad Hatter burned Ignite and Ultimate to Violet Social Cat's just Ultimate. At the end of the day, we're even on kills, down a Drake and a Dragon, and 600 gold lead for Team PARP.
And while it's a small lead, but while the lead early is with PARP, especially in the tempo advantage, they've had tempo this whole game so far. You do have two pretty core elements to this comp are very strong right now, and that's the Sejuani and the Ahri. Sejuani's sitting 201, Ari's sitting 300. That's some pretty good team fight power that you can play around. And we're going to see a lane swap to the bot lane from Black Strand while Jimmy's like, good, get out of my lane, I want to farm. Looks like he might be basing potentially to answer. Or are they going to send their bot lane to answer the Leona? It looks like they're going to keep their bot lane there. Oh, and then it's actually a TP up, so never mind, I'm wrong, it's not a lane swap from Black Strand. I'm just wrong. What do I know?
Yeah, I actually think that's a miscommunication by Team PARP. I would have liked to have seen the bot lane go somewhere, or even just roam up with the Leona if she was still top lane to try to catch Jimmy out as...
Pakistan with the aggression 4 days, more solo players, and this team at damage is adding up. Jimmy is down to half health. The Zenith Blade does land. The Sapling gonna tag Pakistan, but he should have the damage. Nope, Jimmy just tanky enough, he is gonna get out. But not a lot of health to stick around here.
If we're talking about some macro play here for a moment, because while there's less macro play here than like in the LCS, there is macro play, and I think
macro play.
I think if you're PARP, you actually do want to stick Black Strand in that bot lane and throw your bot lane top, because you're almost gonna force Jimmy to go bot lane.
Super
And,
Hooky
I'm gonna shut up.
nice black shield onto himself.
He's dead though.
He gets the ult onto the Varus, but Daspite just gonna pick him up. It's a 2v2 now. Stun gonna come on the Blue Marco. Daspite taking too much damage, and there's the shutdown. The super mega death rock. Marco still chasing on Family Lin. Oh, whiffs the combo, and now he has no ult. Not ult, no mana.
The red buff's on.
Yeah, the red buff. He's not gonna live this. Family Man picking up a second kill for himself.
And that was a huge turnaround. We're going to see Rift Herald being traded for it from the side of PARP.
Might want to drop his top.
But they know.
And Jimmy are here to contest it. Oh, dashes in, but Jimmy going in a little too early. Takes too much damage in the suppression.
Wow.
It's the shutdown on the DG Man having final. So Cats is going to flash out and live. And now they're going to get the Rift Herald.
That range on Nether Grasp, though. That was crazy. I'm sure DG Mad Hatter's like, well, I'm over the wall. There's no way I can get ult by Malzahar. And then the ult came from like a Jinx auto away. I'm like, dang, that's a lot longer of a range than I thought it was.
So here's the plan here for, in my opinion, for Team PARP. You send your AD carry in the mid lane, which they're bot lane right now, because that's where ADCs are supposed to go, right?
Interruption not up. Oh, there's Family Man's gonna actually flash the combo from Boomarkle.
He was so low health, yeah.
Yeah, that's a flash down on ADC, and we do have a, what dragon is this? An Infernal coming up.
This comp likes Infernal Drakes. 4 people will use it very well on the side of PARP. Go to talkback. Hopefully I can get this point in and there's not a crazy fight that happens. Talking about the macro play though, right? If it came like right before that all in from the Superman bot lane came in, where that netted them over a double kill to Family Man. If you send your Leona bot lane, you send your bot lane top, you don't want Jimmy trying to deal with an AD carry to support alone in that lane. On top of the fact that, so you'd force him to just go bot lane. You get your bot lane to go top lane. They have the advantage. They can get some tower pressure. I just think it would have made much more sense to keep Black Strain in the bot lane at that point. Obviously, different teams have different calls, so I can't speak for everybody. And it looks like I got my point in before the fight came. So thank you guys for not fighting for long enough for me to do something else. Hooray!
Wakashan dropping Rift Herald did force Jimmy to TP up, so now there is no TP for CSS, but as I say that...
But he's already roamed.
Yeah, he's walking down. Elliot, as the gal is going to dive in onto Jinx, and she is going to live flashes and get some Chain of Corruption. Going to help take down Tsukogi. Double kill for the Doctor, and then there's the stun from the Chocobo. He is gonna live, there we go. And there Ruyan at the end of the day is going to die from the Ignite, but triple kill for him. 4 for 1. Jimmy's just gonna watch as PARP storms in and leaves dead bodies everywhere.
And the Malzahar... Go ahead.
I guess there's something to be said for you just can't underestimate the power of some really, really good cheese.
It wasn't even the cheese in that fight though, because Black
Well,
Strand...
no, I'm just talking about this Leona overall has a CS lead, has roamed more, has gotten more damage on tower than a quote standard top lane pick, or something that we just saw Jimmy, who has died infinitely more against this Leona.
Oh!
Down.
That's it. Oh my god.
Rich, put it in your pants. It's okay. It's okay.
Is that a rocket
It
in
was
your
just
pocket?
it was just a Jinx play. It's not. It was good, but you don't have to Craigasm over it. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Also-
Family Man is officially the wild turtle of our
I was
team.
about to say that. Oh man,
Um,
family man.
But I don't even remember what I was going to say now. Oh, even like you're talking about the power of the good cheese. I don't attribute that team fight win to the Leona pick. The Leona was there, sure, that's fine. But I'm sorry. The winners of that team fight were the Nocturne and the Malzahar. The Nocturne did exactly what it needed to do. It was able to get on the Family Man, get the assassination. And the Malzahar right now has one job, and that's press R on the DG Mad Hatter, and he did that. Like the winners of that fight.
Solar Flare not gonna stun Jimmy, but there's the Q stun and Block Stranger's whacking away the Titanic Hydra damage, racking up. There's another
Oh
Xenoblade forcing
my
the flash
gosh.
yet again. Markle and Rurion are here for the support. They're one Forces Tower. In fact, the entire team of Mark is up here. Family Man staying down the bot lane. Choco is gonna steal that blue buff, but Rurion onto Jimmy. It doesn't matter. That blue buff is gone. Elliot picks up another kill for himself, 5 and 2 on this Nocturne. Balance Cat teleporting bot just to defend that tower. And
Yeah, this is where I feel like
PARP coming out ahead
PARP-
again.
PARP's definitely making the more rotational plays for the macro, but their lane assignments are a little bit out of place. There was no need to possibly have to burn both of those teleports right there, unless you were willing to fully engage top lane to go for a team fight, but since they didn't, or if that wasn't the plan, that's not something that you should invest all 5 members of when you have a free Jinx, who's someone you need to keep down, because as we said, if this goes 7 to 8 minutes more and Jinx gets to her item power spikes,
Yep.
this 2.5 gold lead that PARP has will be gone, because unless it's the Nocturne and the Leona just jumping in on the Jinx, who I recommend buys a 2nd or 3rd item QSS against this
Absolutely.
team.
I would even say DG Mad Hatter should get a QSS soon, because he's been the only one that's really the ult target in team fights right now for my Sociocat.
Yeah.
Because they have the Nocturne's ability to get onto the Jinx. Like, he doesn't have to worry about the Jinx. That's Elliot's job. His job is already at this point. Like,
It's just if I'm Cass's shoe shop right now, I'm telling everybody that we need to just play safe. We can fight over objectives because I still believe we're stronger as a 5v5. And then, you know, correct black shields, good charms on enemy champions. Just, you got to scale until late game. It's that typical solo queue. Don't worry, guys. We got late game. But they actually do have late game because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not sure how well tank AD Leona scales into late game.
I'd imagine it falls off, but I mean,
Yeah.
50% of teams have late game when you think about it.
Wait, what? How did you find this stat? Did you just, is this like one of those 72% of stats is made up on the spot stat?
I mean, when you think about it, there's 2 teams in the game. One of them has to have a better late game, therefore they have late game.
or both teams could have equal late game, and the team fights just will depend on the skill of those players.
But
They both
unless it's a
do-
perfect mirror, that's not gonna happen. I don't know what the
Vote to expel Rich
Chat.
from.
Chat, can y'all tell me what's going on?
Owen, I second that motion of expelling me.
So, I think I know the answer to this, and I think I know what you're going to say, but Sean, if you are CSS, you're right now in danger of getting snowballed upon. It's already started to happen a little bit. The lead is ballooned. Not much. Oh, excuse me. Not much, but it has a little bit, and we're going to get the potential 20-minute Baron take, a PARP special, although there's some wards that could spot it out. What does CSS need to do here to stay in this game? Because they have scaling. It's just a matter of how can they get there.
So as it stands right now, you don't have double TP, so you have to be running one. You need to clear out the vision in the Baron pit, because with PARP being known for, hey, let's just rush this Baron, let's go for it. You need to find picks with your Ahri and your Morgana, as we talked about earlier. When they see Malzahar bot lane, they need to clear this vision, get deep vision into the red side jungle, and then try to find picks when it comes to them trying to bait Baron, because you have the tempo advantage with the 5-man squad here, but you don't have enough damage to take tower because they don't have any waves of any kind. But they do have better wave clear overall than the 4-man squad of the other team.
But you see Vile starts to catch, she's on a ward. She is going to flash away. Good. Watch out the charm. Nicely done, but she is going to go down the family man. Wild. Super Hokey is going to go down block train. Jimmy is just doing nothing to this backline.
The family man's free firing.
Yeah, there's the rocket. Not going to quite take down Broommark.
That's a lot of damage, though.
There's the resets, 4 kills. That's block train's going to go down eventually. Yup, there we go. Clumsy Chocobo securing the kill for the ace, and they're looking at Baron.
So much for stall it out when they can just win a 5v5. I guess
Well,
that's
but see, the thing
what do I know?
The thing was that they were stalling out, but the thing that I was just talking about was finding picks, and then Violet Sociopath on a ward gets her shield taken down by the Q of Sejuani, with the E stacks coming into where they can actually land the stun and then take out the Malzahar right away, and they're going to be gifted another Infernal Dragon on this after the Jinx Rocket Steal.
Oh man.
This Jinx is going to be massive.
I mean, if I'm a Jinx, and let's face it, most of the time I am, I would love a double Infernal, and yeah, Family Man has to be happy with that right now. PARP are hovering around this Baron, though. CSS have not been back to buy. There we go. The zap does hit Violet Sociocat, but they know. Charm's gonna land on Broommark on the Dark Binding, actually gonna hit Malaka Strand, so team just trading poke, trading CCs.
We're also seeing the kind of weaknesses of this Leona top pick. While it's very, very good, and it's also better in skirmishes where it does succeed, in straight 5v5 team fights, it has the same problems as a regular Leona. It has one direction, and that's going in.
Great. Although somehow, PARP still have Baron control, even with that big turn that just happened, where we did see the gold lead actually transition back over to CSS. But PARP did good to get back on this Baron, get the control of it, and keep priority on it. And I'm not 100% sure how that happened, but
CSS is backing just now. They were DJ Mad Hatter was sitting on about 2k. Clumsy Chocobo just bought, but was sitting on 2.5k. They had him back after winning the fight, so
yeah.
PARP,
The way that happened
was briefly superior.
Yeah, the way that happened, Eric, was that they prioritized getting 2 towers mid as opposed to rushing the Baron and then.
Gotcha. I was messaging on. I was sending a message.
Caught by the binding. Oh, the Orb of Deception not quite going. Jimmy is a bit by
Jimmy's
himself. A little far
still
forward.
going though.
Clumsy Chocobo also went off to the side. These tanks want to get something started for CSS.
I mean, and the tanks aren't in an awful place. Like, sure, Maokai lost lane, but Maokai does have some good itemization for right now. Sunfire Cape's there. It's negating a lot of the poke damage from Daspite, and he's got the Spectre Scout, which does a lot to negate the damage from Violet Sociocat and his poke. So it's not the biggest risk for him to be like stepping up for that, as long as he doesn't get picked and dies, which didn't happen. So he's okay.
Yeah, I'm looking really for.
Gonna find Malaka Strand again. Malaka Strand is gonna get charmed up. He's not quite taking up the survival. Just gonna dive in on DJ Mad Hatter. The Soul Troll is not gonna stop.
Family Man's down.
Ariel and Violet Sociocat destroy Family Man. Malaka Strand still alive. Finally goes down. Broommark in a little bit of a 1v2 on his own. Gets charmed up. Gonna pop that ult. Going to have some survivability. Daspite does get hit by a Dark Binding, forced to flash out. DJ Mad Hatter, meanwhile, does pick up Violet Sociocat, and it's Daspite versus the world right now. Arion is off elsewhere. 3 for 1.
These fights are getting crazy.
Ooh! It's DJ Mad Hatter and Chocobo are just almost double-handedly carrying these fights, even with their main carry, late game insurance of Family Man getting double ulted and exhausted. They come out and they focus the Leona, the top lane tank, and just still come out ahead with a 3 for 1 on the side of Cass's Shoe Shop.
Part of me says yes, they're carrying. Part of me says that that's cool they can carry, but like I think in that fight, if they don't put so much pressure onto Galactic Strand, that was a pick. Like that wasn't Galactic Strand finding somebody and them trying to save them. That was a good pick by DJ Mad Hatter. But they then left Family Man. It was just Family Man and Hoagie, I believe, who were there, and they weren't able to disengage the double point and click, as you said. from Irion and Violet Sociocat, like they weren't able to protect the Jinx. And I think right now at this point in the game, DG Mad Hatter has the damage to make that thing on his own. Keep Clumsy Chocobo on top of Family Man and just say, you cannot touch my Jinx.
Yeah, probably so. I'm actually hoping that either Jimmy or Chocobo, most likely Jimmy, builds the Aegis, because Morgana's not typically known for building Aegis as a support, and I think that's something that would be a very, very big item, and also because of the way the new Aegis is and how it scales with levels and a bigger shield, that's the kind of play that they need to be going for, as we find.
They're
Well, it's
gonna
not even-
find the wild area. Ooh, the
Ooh,
dark binding
nice spell
barely
shield.
missed. The spell shield didn't even pop. The dark binding was barely short. Just another
Uh-oh.
engine would have hit him.
And on top of everything else with Aegis and invariably then Locket, it's not. It also is now it scales with your health. So like that's the build that a lot of top laners are going with. They're getting real tanky, getting all their health items, and then they're getting a Gargoyle Stone Plate, and then they're getting a Locket, and they go into a fight, they pop their Stone Plate, and then like
Live forever.
in the moment of when Stone Plate's on, they pop Locket, give their entire team like a 2,000 health shield. It's ridiculous. It's like Karma E on steroids. Like.
Yeah, oh,
We got a
Blockchain's
potential
gonna-
pick here.
Oh, the glacial person
Oh,
does
they
land
want-
onto him, and Blockchain gonna flash away. Here comes John. Oh, he's gonna dive on the Mad Hatter forces. The
TP
flash
coming in.
out. Swordfall not gonna stun anyone though. Chain of Corruption nicely done on the two.
Family Man's here.
This
Oh, no, he's not up.
No, he's not. He's all the way bot, but it's blinking health towards for part. They are gonna clean this up, but no.
Oh,
two
the double
more
kill
go down.
cube.
Triple for DG Mad Hatter. They're looking at that spot. Jimmy and DG Mad Hatter want. There's the twist advance. That's the Quadra.
The Penta?
This is Baron.
Penta?
They
Do you have any more
No.
ult charges? No, he does not.
hurry on. Not gonna give the Penta.
DG Mad Hatter was playing out of his brains that fight. Oh my gosh.
If CSS take this win, I don't think there's
There's-
a question of DG Mad Hatter getting MVP or not. He's playing so well. Orion does not have the
Irion's
the
got a
flash.
steal with
he doesn't
his
have the
Q.
flash. He just has to steal it with the Q. Goes out. Nope.
Nope. Yeah, he had no flash, no ult, no blast cone. There was no way for him to get into fight range. It was just a matter of if his Q could take it.
So I looked back at the replay, and what happened there is that when Leona's E missed, Ethan went in expecting it to hit, which put him at a disadvantage to where they couldn't just lock down DJ Mad Hatter. Able to get away, and then I believe somehow there was a knockup on to Violet Sociocat when he was ulting DJ Mad Hatter again, allowing him to get away.
But Clumsy Chocobo gonna eat the Chain Corruption. He is coming in. Family Man flashes the Solar Float. Nicely done backline. Here comes the rest of the cavalry. Jimmy zoning off Violet Sociocat. There's the big crit from Family Man.
Wow.
Takes down Boot Markle. Free hitting Full Orchestra. Clumsy Chocobo just soloing the dragon off the side. Oh, Orchestra gonna pop the blast. Oh, the
Oh,
Death
just
Rocket
missed.
barely missing, but
Jimmy's
down to
saying, I'm
1v2.
still real tank. I'm still a tank.
This game seems to be snowballing out of control for CSS, and with their late game comp, they're really starting to take over these fights.
And DG Man and DG Mad Hatter and Family Man are doing a lot of work in these team fights.
Yeah,
Superman Hatter is the new team name.
Double spell shield just so annoying onto an Alvar, but AoE coming in, Family Man is just free hitting, but Fastbite does pick up each Mad Hatter, but he's also going to get Alvar's out. They are ignoring him, he's going to
Family Man is
D5. Family Man
untouched.
doesn't have the resets. Double kill for him. It's going to be the triple. Yup, he picks it up onto Fastbite. Doesn't even need your block. Oh, I'm gonna steal it, but
I think that's
triple kill
game.
for Jinx. That's gonna be the inhib. They have the wave to take this. They're gonna keep going.
They have Jinx.
Yeah,
That's game.
20-second death timers.
They want the game 20 seconds on everyone from PARP. Next turret number 1 about to go down. There we go. Next turret number 2 is going down. Now there we go, and that's gonna be the next 10 seconds on PARP. That is it. The 2-0 for CSS. Are they gonna finish it? There
Padding
we go.
some stats so he can get an S+ for Family Man, and after not getting MVP last game, said, put me on my Jinx. I want to get
Dude.
MVP.
But he's not MVP.
DG Mad
MVP
Hatters.
is for DG Mad Hatter, and it's for the fight that saved them the game because he managed to pick up that quadra kill around the Baron fight when it was a 3v5. Like they 3v5'd, got the quadra kill, got Baron, got everything, and it was all off of DG Mad Hatter. And I know, Joe, I know you want this MVP. I was pulling for you last game, but you didn't get it this game. I'm sorry, homeboy. It was DG Mad Hatter.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, family man. If you want to be a good family man, you have to provide for your team early, not just late game. So you can't just pick Tristana and Jinx and be like, "What? But I was there in the end for you." No, we need you at birth. Okay, if you're a good
At inception, not even birth, at inception.
Inception. Don't leave us.
What? Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I got DJ Mad Hatter for my MVP vote.
Oh, we have. Oh, it's just cheers from Super Hoagie. Okay, I'm posting the MVP poll right now.
Yeah, Rich, listen to that advice. Oh my god.
There we go. Go vote, guys. We'll pull down Jimmy to whatever's open. But yeah, the 2-0 forecast is shoe shop.
And this
PARP was undefeated coming into actually
into last night.
It's been 24 hours and they've lost. They've gone
3 in a row.
1-3. Yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily hurt them. I still think, like, if we're talking full scale this season, I think Parp's a very strong team. They have two very strong solo laners. I think the Leona pick was a little bit of a mistake. Yes, it won lane, but it didn't really do enough in team fights. And I think I don't know. They got outplayed in a lot of these team fights. So I wouldn't hang their heads. They played well this game. They had a huge early game advantage. They did a lot of things right. The problem was Ahri and Jinx damage in team fights is still very real.
Yeah, DG Mad Hatter actually outdamaged Family Man.
I believe it.
Yeah, I just checked the damage chart. It's 20k for DG Mad Hatter and 18k for Family Man.
Yeah, DG Mad Hatter was putting in some work that second game. And I think Parp is still a very strong team. They've got very good foundations to work on. There's nothing to be concerned about as long as they get back to that form that they were showing early on in some of their matches, where they were just raffle stopping people through the mid game with some of their comps and some of their strats, and it was working very successfully. And I think they can still do that. It's just a matter of making it happen. So, and I think this is a good game for Cass's Shoe Shop too. They've got a little bit of momentum now. I believe they 2-0'd last week. Am I right or am I wrong?
Cass,
No,
I know they
right.
won at least one game because I was casting.
I feel like they tied. I'm not sure.
Either way, they've got a little bit of momentum moving on towards the later parts of the season. We are still only in week 4. We're not really in range to talk about playoffs yet as a general picture. I mean, obviously, we can talk about if the season ended today, But there's still almost 6 full weeks left of play. Once we get to week 6, week 7, we can start talking about that. But these early season wins are good to boost yourself up there and get yourself a tiebreaker against PARP potentially if it comes down to it. So.
Okay, so I went and looked it up real quick. They actually tied versus Tilted Torpedoes last week.
Okay. Oh, right. That was the York memes.
The what? Wait, the what? The what memes?
The Yorick memes.
Oh, true.
They are one of my favorite teams as far as just their personality as a team cracks me up.
They're the meme team. They're the meme team. Oh,
because you got Ayano, just
the real question from Garfield Juice: when are we going to Flavortown?
Yo, come watch me play. You want to go to Flavortown? Hell yeah. All the time, homeboy.
All right.
My life is Flavortown.
So, all the votes appear to have come in, and DG Mad Hatter is the Game 2 MVP, so we will get him down here.
Do we have to go to a different channel, right?
Yes.
I see Jimmy's miscellaneous, so just
I told him to go there. I'm telling Frank to go there.
I will go there now then. See you there soon.
Oh my god. Hello.
Hello.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey Jimmy.
Hey guys.
Get Frank down here, Jesus.
So we'll get started without Frank. Just
Hold up, Frank should be here.
Hey, there he is.
There he is. Hi, Frank.
Hey,
Congrats.
The man himself.
Hey. Yeah.
thank
congrats,
you.
Congrats on the 2-0. Congrats on the MVPs.
Thank you,
Eric,
thank
Eric clearly has questions, so take it away.
Oh, why do I clearly have questions?
You
What?
started asking a question, I think.
I didn't, but I can make it happen. But yeah, congrats on the 2-0. In case there was any question marks, yes, Jimmy was MVP from game 1, and DJ Mad Hatter Frank. I'm just gonna call you Frank because it's easier. MVP from game 2. My first question is for Jimmy, and I wanted to know why the Maokai. I mean, obviously it's worked out 2 games in a row. Generally, the second game was a little bit more iffy, just because Leona.
Yeah, that was something.
It was a little bit of a cheese pick, but it worked in lane.
Yeah, definitely.
What I didn't see what order they were picked in. Did you pick the Maokai into Aurelia, or was it the other way around?
I think we picked the Maokai into the Irelia, but I'm not positive.
That is ballsy.
Well, let me check our little thing here. We picked Maokai 4th. I don't know when they picked the Aurelia. So I think we definitely could have picked Maokai into the Aurelia.
Okay, and either way, that doesn't affect my question. You're like the only top laner playing Maokai right now. And I want to know kind of what it was about it, because there's other tanks that are generally performing better. Obviously, the champion is still still a tank; it can still do its job. I just if you look at top lane tanks, the bulk of what you're seeing tank wise are like the Galleon and the Shen. And I'm just curious, what makes the priority on the Maokai on that for you?
Well, I think Oh, you first, Frank, if you want to answer my question. Well, first I'm going to shout out Frank and say, him along with the rest of my teammates are just so rock solid, and Maokai really allows you to just lock someone down, set them up for your teammates, just stomp them into the dirt. And I have never, ever with this team ever questioned the fact that my teammates could stomp someone into the dirt. So giving myself Maokai is great for me because I don't have to put on the carry pants, which I can kind of do, but not really. So if I can just play a Maokai, just grab someone and then toss them over to Frank or to Joe and just see them obliterated, that's something I'm good at, and I can play that to my team's strength.
So the reliability and the point and click CC, I got you.
Yeah, and the fact that
good
if you
not
wanna,
point and click moments.
Oh my god.
Well, if to also point out, if you did not know, Maokai is currently number 7 on the win rate for top laners. So though you say, he's not really played. He's not played in the PMA LCS, but he has one of the highest win rates in top lane in platinum and above. So
He's so
Gotcha.
good.
Okay, well, I learned something new today because I thought Maokai was trash. I'll be honest.
Nah, Maokai is great.
Maokai's low-key pretty good.
His passive with Spirit Visage is really, really busted right now. He gets a lot of health back. It's really good.
Fair enough.
And his ultimate can lock down an entire team. It's pretty slow, but did work for us.
Yeah, and in addition to when I was in that lane against the Aurelia, there were a lot of times where Aurelia would jump in on me, but with the minion wave not in her favor. So with my sort of lockdown capabilities, I could just kind of keep her there, and then the minions would aggro on her, and that gave me a lot of trade advantages. So you'll probably notice if you guys are watching, there's a lot of times where I came out on top of these trades where I probably shouldn't have. Yeah. And that was because she jumped in the minion, I'd use my Q, knock her back a little farther. She'd try to go out, I'd hit my W on her. The minions are staying on her for 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, and that's enough to do a ton of damage.
Oh yeah. I mean, you played that Maokai Aurelia lane well. That's why you got MVP. It's technically a losing lane for Maokai because Aurelia beats.
Oh, totally.
But you played it well. You didn't die in lane, which is very hard to do.
Yeah, that's a new
against
one
Caleb's
for me.
Aurelia because his Aurelia is very good. And so, you did very well, and that's why you got it. So props to you.
Yeah,
playing the losing lane and coming out on top.
Thank you.
I'm terrible at coming up with questions. Sean, you got anything?
I wanted to ask DJ Mad Hatter a question. So in game 2, you see the Malzahar, you have the Ahri. When they're coming out to this early game lead, kind of like y'all did in game 2, but y'all have the better 5v5 comp as opposed to the game before when y'all had the better skirmishing comp. and they were up to that lead, did you start having like what were the comms like then when Leona's solo killing Jimmy 2 or 3 times, and then you're having like misplays around the map to where you're set behind? What were the comms like there, and who's shot calling for y'all's team?
Frank. It's Frank. He's great. That's why we stopped for so long to get him a headset.
Yeah,
Not gonna say
so
like we're nothing without Frank, but like he's great. We need him.
Frank's
So-
Malachi, right?
No,
Frank
Frank
was
is DJ Man. He's the one stopping.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so Frankie, answer.
So yeah, with that, so we were just trying to, keep wards back. I think really the big thing for us was that got our momentum really going was Joe's steal of
Oh my gosh.
of that dragon with the Jinx rocket.
I may or may not have like creamed my
There was-
pants at that steal.
There was
Yeah,
a visual
and-
Craigasm on Rich's face.
Yeah, and not to mention, I think that there were just a couple of errors happening from the macro play of the other side. Just seeing that they sent 4 top lane, which like allowed us to grab a turret, bot lane. We ended up being able to get a turret mid lane eventually, and so like we slowly started climbing back. But I think with our warding and we were pushing the mid tower down in mid lane, and we're like, okay, it's super low, we can grab it. Team steps up, we start to back off and had a ward on Violet Sociocat, which started us into a team fight that ended up acing. And we were like for sure back in the game at that point. And then it was really after that, our team fights, they were just as strong as we were, but our team fights just ended up flying a little bit better.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with something that we pointed out during the cast about some of the questionable macro calls with their TPs on the other side. But still, hats off, especially around that fight where you just dodged the Zenith Blade and then Nocturne came in and over